So, everyone clap for me. Thank you. I'm 29. I'm, feeling old and wise. Some people have said that I look old and wise. Do I look any smarter to you guys?
You're so true, bestie.
So true, thank you. I don't really have any wisdom. Actually, yes, I do. Per usual, I would say. My wisdom is stop fighting with people on the internet. Just, quietly leave and scroll past things you don't like. That's free wisdom for everyone out there. At least 30% more wisdom, and it hasn't even been a week yet.
Yeehaw.
You're right, and you should say it.
Papa Morgan excited.
Thank you for subscribing. I go away for one birthday, and you guys go bananas. I had a great birthday. I liked every single one of my presents. This is a shirt. You can't really see it, I'm not realizing, but it says bibliophile, and then it says a person who makes books their entire personality, which is cute. But the back is the really cute part. Hang on. And one of my birthday gifts is a $50 gift card to Barnes & Noble. So I'm also going to Barnes & Noble later today. So I hope everyone's excited about that. Hello, Ghost Boy. Welcome. Listen, I'm so happy for you, Em. It was the best. I made a little hat. My hat did break, but it lasted a few photos. So that's all I can ask for. But yeah, it was good. We posted a YouTube vlog about the birthday party and like the things we did to make it. We did post about it on Instagram and TikTok, but some people had some feelings about it. And I was like, it's not worth arguing with people in the comments why I feel it's not breaking the strike, but other people do. Because they're allowed to feel that way. That's fine. But anyway, so we're not posting about it there. Because it's just, I don't know. I was like, I don't want to be stressed out about this on my birthday. It's fine. It's easy for me to not post about it and to instead just have a good day. I don't know why it's not easy for them to just go on about their lives and have a good day, but I can only control myself. And so that's what we did. But it was really fun. Had a great time. Everybody showed up, which was great. Well, just about everybody showed up. I also made like cups that had people's names on one side and had like a Barbie silhouette on the other side. So that was nice because like I really miss when you're a kid and you go to a birthday party and you get like a gift bag. And so that was like the energy of that, which I thought about filling them with like candy or something, and they would be like the gift bag you take home. But I was like, it makes more sense for it to be empty and them to like use it at the party. So anyway, so that was really fun. My costume was really cute. I think we're probably going to reuse them for Halloween, honestly.
Yeehaw.
Hopefully the strike is over by then.
The strike themselves.
Veronica, it's not a bad idea. It's just, I won't talk about it anymore. But yeah, it was stressful. It was stressful. On top of that, we had like that person being turfy to Phoebe on Friday. And I like left what I was doing because we had stream on in the background to ban them. And like, we've also been getting a lot of like stressful fat phobic comments on like my like babyest girl video from like a month ago. So like, I think that's the other thing is like,
It's compounding.
yes, if like the Barbie thing was like the only time we'd had anything stressful happen this week, maybe it would have been like, okay, I'm hearing that. Like, but it's like, it just feels like there's been a lot of people clearly not thinking of our job as a job recently. And what I need people to know is like, with content creation, most of your job is actually not even necessarily really creating the content. Like, a huge part of it is deleting mean comments and reading people saying horrible things about you. And we're not even like that popular. So like, I have no idea how people who have like millions of followers are doing it. I assume they're probably paying someone. But like, the other thing is, I think people think that we have a lot of money. And what I need people to know is that, like, we are quite literally in the same tax bracket. So, like, we're not rich at all. So it's just been a couple stressful days. But my birthday was amazing. I only cried at the end of the day, you know.
You were so brave.
Had the annual birthday sob, as one does. I don't speak to my mom. I did talk to my dad for 10 minutes. He did remember to call me. He did tell me happy birthday. Then he talked about himself for 15 minutes and about his pending divorce. And I said, it's actually my birthday, so I don't really want to hear about it. And he said, oh, are you busy? And I said, yeah, I'm having a party. And he said, oh, you're having a party? And I said, yeah. If you actually knew me as a person, you would know that I would never let a birthday pass without a party. But you don't know me as a person, so that would be why. Oh, I've heard it, Veronica. I thought about doing it with an audio, but anytime I film myself crying, people are always like, why would you do this? And I'm always like, I'm just trying to share in a human experience. We all cry on our birthdays. Okay? Sorry. If you're not filming yourself crying a little bit, maybe take it up. Because then you get to be like, sometimes it's like that, bro. Is it a birthday if you're not crying? I just cried a little bit. Honestly, it was very little. It was very little, and it was at the end of the day. I think the other thing is, like, as you all know, I love my birthday. I love it, and I'm so sad when it's over. And, like, I also cry, like, when Christmas is over. Because I'm so sad. I get really, like... It's something I'm working on in therapy. But, like, I build things up a lot, right? Like, in anticipation of something really big happening. And then even if it goes, like, perfectly, I usually still cry because it's like, I've been looking forward to this for so long and now it's over. You know? Which my therapist was like, when you were a kid, could you depend on your parents? Or did you kind of have to rely on yourself for anything to get done? And I was like, I don't know how that's relevant. Maybe keep that thought to yourself, Rosanna. But, no, literally Wednesday. I feel like, you know, if your entire, like, text messages with someone, or your entire account, or your entire, like, photo roll is you crying, like, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. But also, it's not, I don't know, it's just not my business. If you don't want to see people who film themselves crying for a silly little TikTok, don't follow them. In therapy, you're arguing like a lawyer in court. Question relevance. I came into chat not to be attacked, Rosanna. So true. But it was great. We also got to spend time in the hot tub, which I feel like I'm the only one in my house that really loves the hot tub. Also, I would just like to reiterate that, like, it's a huge privilege that we live with Phoebe's parents, but the reason we have such a cool house is because all of us are paying the mortgage. So we have 4 people with jobs who pay on the mortgage instead of just the 2 people. So, like, we're still not rich. It's just that we have a lot of privilege. But anyway, the house did come with a hot tub, and it's amazing. But I'm the only one who really likes it. Phoebe likes being in the hot tub, but then they hate leaving, so they won't do it. which I appreciate them knowing that they'll hate it at the end, but they hate to get out of the hot tub, and so they hate to get in it. I know myself, and I love myself. It's huge, Co. So it's technically like, as we've said before, the people who lived here before us was also like a multi-generational thing, but it was like the older parents lived downstairs where we live, in like the middle floor. And then a birthday party is amazing. And then the top floor was like their kids, which their kids were older than Phoebe's parents. They're like in their late 50s, early 60s. And then the folks who lived down here were like late 80s, early 90s. And do I still have a dot over here? And they bought the hot tub because it's like a really good way for like old people to still be like active. And so it's like a hot tub / like swimming spa. I don't know if you guys remember the commercials from when we were kids, but it's like, they called it like the endless pool. And it's like, it's huge, it's long, and you turn on the jets on one side and you swim. And it's like you've just been swimming in laps because it's like blowing against you. Does that make sense? So it's a hot tub, but it can also be like turned down and be like a tiny pool. And so it fits like comfortably, it fits like 9 people. So it's really cool. Literally. It's so nice, Veronica. I hope that when our kids are a little older, they like can invite their friends over. It's also like, obviously when you have a really small baby, you should never leave kids unattended in a pool ever. But like, because it's so small, there's not like a deep end. Yeah, it's kind of like a swimming treadmill. Exactly. Birds aren't real. Hello. I feel like I haven't seen you in so long. But yeah. I had a friend in high school that got one, but only because she was on the swim team. That's a good reason to have one. We have one because it came with our house. We're also really, really lucky that it actually like works, because I know, I don't know about your city, I guess, but in our city, a lot of people are always trying to give away free hot tubs because they don't work anymore.
Yeehaw.
Happy belated
Thank you,
birthday,
Moon
Morgan.
Buckets.
Birthday cake,
Um,
party popper.
So you'll go on Facebook Marketplace and there'll be like so many free hot tubs, but they're not really free because they don't work anymore. So you have to pay for someone to move a huge hot tub. And then you also have to fill it with water at your own house. And then you also have to have a hot tub guy come look at it. Pinless, maybe you could. Honestly, if you got it for free and you had someone who was capable of moving it, it might be worth trying. Also, it probably is less than the cost of a hot tub to come get some guy to fix whatever's wrong with it. But I feel like by the time you pay someone to move it, that's not necessarily true. Inflatable hot tubs are a great option. They sell them all over the place. Speaking a little bit of which, not exactly similar, but kind of the same vibe. Do you guys remember waterbeds? Did you want a waterbed as a kid? Now I am scooted away. Is it better now? I wanted one so bad. We talked about them yesterday for some reason. I don't remember why. And I wanted one so bad. My aunt had one. Not my worst aunt in vibes, but like I would say she's maybe doing the worst besides my mom. I doubt they're watching. Sorry, it's true. Y'all have that aunt who like never got married and like never had kids and has like 4 dogs, but the dogs are allowed to piss and shit in their house. You know? And then like they give you Christmas presents from the dogs and you're like, the dogs didn't buy this Christmas present. Also, it's a cookie in the shape of a bone. And while that's fun, I am not a dog, so as a 13-year-old, I don't think it's that fun. No, this aunt is, I would say, not a good dog owner, personally. Danielle got a weird aunt. I just got creepy uncles. I would say all of my aunts. Weird's maybe not the best word. I would say rude. I'm sure everyone's heard this, but like all of my aunts at one point or another like pulled me aside and were like, "You're too fat. Did you know that? I know you're only 11, but I really think you should do something about it." And then every time I was in the hospital, which was a lot as a kid, which I found out is abnormal, they would be like, "They're not feeding you, right? They're doing like the tube thing. How much weight do you think you're going to lose being in the hospital?" And I'd be like, "I am 15 and I just had surgery. Can you leave me alone?" Thank you. Sweetie boy. You brushed your teeth?
I did.
That's so nice of you. What a nice husband. Literally my mom and my aunts. Anyway, she had a waterbed when I was younger. And it was the only reason I ever liked going to her house. And I was like, oh, it was the best because, like, you, like, move and it, like, kind of bounces. And I was like, it's like you're sleeping on a boat. And I loved it as a kid. And then I just found out yesterday. That I guess later in life, they made waveless waterbeds. Did you guys know this? They call it a waveless waterbed. But what it is like instead of being just a huge bag filled with water, it's got like chambers in it. And so like you fill like each chamber with water. The wave is the point. That's what I was saying. I don't know why you would want a waveless one if you were going to get a waterbed. Get a normal mattress at that point and be a normie. So they've taken the joy out of the waterbed. Exactly. What do you mean waveless? Why would I want that? Can you imagine? That's like being like, here we made you this soda, but it is flavorless and it tastes like water. And it's like, okay, then just give me water. What do you mean? Waveless waterbed. Bananas. I don't remember what we started talking about waterbeds. Have you ever wanted to be on water without being on water? Try this. So true, Pinless. I was like, what? The point is that it's fun because you're wavy. What do you mean? That is like a jetless jacuzzi. That's just a big bath at that point. What do you mean? Waveless waterbed. Get out of town. That seems cuckoo bananas to me. Maybe I'm not the expert on cuckoo bananas, but that's what it's seeming to me. A bath you can sleep in safely. A hillless roller coaster. I'm so glad we're all here. What if I showed up to your house like with a real sharp straw and sucked the water out of your bed? Sometimes you get the urge to just treat a bed like a Capri Sun. You know? I'd say we're all very qualified on what's cuckoo bananas. Should we make a cuckoo bananas t-shirt? Not today, but it's what I've been trying to replace like crazy and insane with because like that's what I mean is it's like ridiculous but in a silly, unbelievable way. And I love it. It is cuckoo bananas. Who is that? Why would I want that? Who would make this and take all the joy out of a waterbed? Oh, anyway, I always wondered when I was a kid. I was talking about that yesterday with Phoebe's parents. And I was like, I feel like you can't sleep on a waterbed full time, though. Orby's bed is a genius idea. I feel like a waterbed is the kind of thing you have in a guest room, and as a treat, you go and sleep on it. Because I feel like if I slept on it all the time, I wouldn't think it's cool anymore. My grandma had a waterbed, and there's nothing like being waken up by the waves as big as the ones in The Perfect Storm. This same aunt, whenever we had to stay with her and sleep in the waterbed, me and my brother, because my youngest brother, like, I think wasn't really born yet, or maybe he just was sleeping in a crib. she would like get mad at us every time we got in it and we're like wiggly because it was fun. And I was like, okay, if you don't want us to have fun on the waterbed, maybe have a regular mattress, Aunt Lisa. Sorry. If you don't want any joy in the house, get a normal mattress. But otherwise, how at 5 years old, how am I not supposed to make this into a fun activity? Oh, yes, so true, Haley. I'm sure it's not good for your back. There's no way. Why have wiggly bed no wiggle? Why you hate fun so much? I don't understand. Get a normal bed at that point. Speaking of beds, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the girl bed's naked. You know, she's getting her sheets washed. We also broke it by accident. Sometimes after stream, Phoebe and I don't have the energy to walk all the way to our bed. So sometimes we lay together and snuggle on the girl bed while we both stare at our phone, don't talk. Anyway, and this time we both sat down at the same time and we broke like one of the somethings. We fixed it before Hannah came over, but like it was like a screw. We have horrible luck with screws just coming out of things, by the way. In case you weren't here on stream when I was like, my chair just broke. Because 2 screws came unscrewed by me sitting in it normally.
Yeehaw.
Hello, Blakey. Anyway, so that's what happened. We did fix it, you know, because we're basically like handymen. Pussy out, girl, man. Listen. We also are almost completely packed for Disneyland. Days early, might I add. I mean, day early. But that's also a huge win. Kyle Lily. I feel like anytime I say, like, we broke something, I'm always like, not in a sexy way. You know? Just so you know. If I broke something in a sexy way, I wouldn't tell you. I'm so sorry. That would be my secret. Oh, I'm so happy for you. This Barbie has gay audacity. So true. Especially a bed. No, but you're right. Sorry. Sometimes mommy has to have secrets. Also, speaking of which, I promise we are going to play Stardew today because I'm very excited about it, but I wanted to put on makeup. I woke up at 6:15. No, P's off today. I woke up at 6:15. Stream starts at 8, our time. And I read before I looked at my phone. And I have no more mental illness. I know. Yes, I already finished ACOTAR. I love it. I won't talk about it that much on stream because I know there are some people here who are in the middle of reading it. I'm reading Nightbitch. Please no trigger warnings or content warnings. I know what it's about. I don't know how it ends, obviously. Don't want to know. That 29-year-old wisdom is hitting hard. But it's so interesting. My one complaint so far is it's one of those books where the author didn't use quotation marks when people are talking. Hello, hot young gamer mom. Love your name. Which is so annoying. I don't understand. I know it's like a choice. Obviously, it's a choice people make on purpose. It's so annoying. Why don't they use quotation marks? What? I don't understand. But other than that, which I've gotten used to it now that I'm like more than halfway through it. I literally started it yesterday. I'm more than halfway done. I think I'll finish it tonight. What I will say. Hang on. I'm doing my eyeliner. Hold on. What I will say. This is like kind of a content warning. When people are talking, they don't use quotes. Yes. So like, hang on. I'll type it for you. That's what it looks like. If I were to say, this is so annoying. Isn't that annoying? Thank you. It really does have a great sound. I don't know. Mrs. Goose Caboose, love your name. My dyslexia could never. Thank you. What I am curious about, I don't think this is a thing right now. No, it isn't italicized. The only other book I've read like this, I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, I read this in high school, was the book It's Kind of a Funny Story. Which was actually really good from what I remember. But I don't think it had quotation marks either. And the whole time I was like, would it be annoying if I wrote quotation marks in this? I did read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. It's so good. It's not in Comic Sans. Oh, what I was going to say. What I hope happens in the future, from what I understand now, I don't think this is a thing, but similar, I am physically reading this book. It's a physical book that I have instead of on my Kindle. What I want to know is in the future, if I were to read this on my Kindle, if they're going to make it like a font choice to add the quotation marks back in. Like, literally same and be animal. I remember really liking it. I don't think I watched the movie, or I watched part of it. I thought about writing the quotation marks in, but like with all of my books, I don't know if I'm going to reread them till I finish them. Like, I don't know if I'm going to keep them on my bookshelf forever. If I don't think I'm going to reread a book ever, or I'm like, it's not good enough that I would recommend it to someone, I usually like take it to the book bin and sell it, or like donate it, or give it to the library, or I'm pretty sure there's a movie. I think Zach Galifianakis is in it. Because I think it came out before The Hangover, or right after The Hangover, but it's like a serious role that Zach Galifianakis is in. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with it, which is why I didn't put quotation marks in it. But if you are not like a horror girly, but you are like a interesting story, suspense girly, and I haven't finished it yet, so this might alter. What I will say about me is I'm so glad that I'm reading it before we're pregnant or before we have children. Number one. And number two, I would say if you're looking for the vibe of this, this is not like plot. I'm actually leaving out a huge point in the plot in this description. But imagine if you took America Ferrera's speech in Barbie, that like vibe of like women can never win, it's so frustrating to be a woman, combined it with my husband does weaponized incompetence and is not an active partner in raising our child, combined it with very descriptive like mom guilt of not being enough, doing enough. If I'm at work, I'm wishing I was home. If I'm at home, I wish I was at work. All of that together, it is intense. And it's not intense for me because I don't currently have a child. And even if I did, I 100% have a partner who is going to be a very active participant in our kid's life. But I want to hand this book to all of my straight friends who I know their husbands don't actually really help raise their children. And be like, you're not alone, babes. Read this book. This girlie, she's angry. And you should be too. But it's super interesting. It's so interesting that I am reading it despite it having no quotation marks. A subtle gift. I'll be like, I think you should learn some things from this. I think you could learn a few things from this girl. But it's written really interestingly. They did say an indigenous word that you're not supposed to say. I feel like if you know, you know. And if you don't, it's not for you to know. Don't ask. Not a lot. They only said it, I think, twice. And then they also, when talking about it, didn't say indigenous. I don't think they said Native American either. I think they said Indian. And this book definitely came out after that. After people were saying that. It's recent.
Yeehaw.
And so I was like, I'm not loving that. And it's literally, like, quite literally 2 sentences in the book. Twice is kind of a lot, but I'm superstitious. Isn't it a choice?
Yeehaw.
And, like, I've never written a book, so, like, maybe that's not the kind of thing that an editor would know otherwise. I thought you said beach. Birds aren't real. I thought you said beach, and I was like, so true. Beach. I have heard really good things about guilty pleasures. Yeah. But other than that and the quotation marks, so because of those two things, I can already tell you I probably won't give it 5 stars. But it is really interesting, and I do think it's going to be the kind of book that I recommend to people who are angry and who are raising children without a partner that actually is helping and has a lot of rage about it. And I'll be like, I think you should take this. It's called Nightbitch. Hold on. It's also a really good cover. What I will say before I show it to anyone, if you are the kind of like soft person or vegetarian or whatever who doesn't like to see photos of like raw meat, it definitely looks like raw steak. It's not like that graphic. They say it casually, Kaya. So without giving away like too much of the plot, it's very similar to that scene in Twilight where Bella is trying to figure out what's wrong with Edward before she comes up with vampire. So it's something that she finds while Googling. So like if they are going to say it, it seems like the character is like happening upon this word while Googling other things that have happened in the book, which I'm hearing, but it just seems like they could have left it out. Like, it seems like they could have said, like, she found information of, like, indigenous folklore or stories and, like, left it at that. If it was me, that's what I would have said. Not casually, yeah. It also seems like if she was going to say it, she could then be like, she then found out 2 sentences later, people don't want her to say this. So, anyway. The cover is really good. It's a good cover, in my opinion. It's very, like, jarring. But anyway, if you're the kind of person who doesn't like raw meat, pictures of raw meat, close your eyes for just a second. And if you think that it won't bother you, then get ready. Okay, I'm showing it now, and then I will talk when it's over. This is the cover. Isn't it interesting? I do feel like it's a good cover. It's very interesting. Okay, it's gone now. You can look. I'm unsettled but intrigued. No, literally, Kaya. And it's definitely written by a white woman. I guess I don't know that, but I would eat my hat if it's not. I would pick it up just for that cover. It's a good cover. Ghost Boy, no, but I'm thinking about reading it. I'm thinking about reading it as I've already seen the movie, because I actually really like the movie. It's not perfect. That makes sense, Lady B. I haven't seen it. Not because of the racism, but because of the meat. It's super interesting. I will say, if you are a person who, like, has at the very least been raised as a woman, perceived as a woman for any amount of time in your life, and especially if you still currently are, And so people treat you as like a mother in society. It might make you more angry. But also, like, I'm kind of like so true, bestie. So far, at least, I feel like it's a good for her book. That's how I feel. But again, I am not done with it. I might get to the end of it and be like, don't read this. It's not worth. For all I know, it could get way more stressful. We are Veronica. People treat me as a bitch in society. You know? It's a lot. Yeah, I think I might read Fight Club for... I need to update my reading challenge for Powell's and also for ours. You deserve IKEA dinner. That's girl dinner. Would it make someone cry? I don't know if I would cry so far, except out of frustration for the society we have built and how much we have failed mothers. So, Phoebe's making me girl dinner. We were supposed to both stream today. Loosely, I was like, should we do a birthday stream on Monday? Like, dress up cute, talk about me all day. And we were like, maybe. And then we're so tired, and we're also about to go to Disneyland. And I was like, I'll stream by myself. Phoebe has some of their own, like, Phoebe homework they need to get done before we go on vacation for them to, like, enjoy it. Also, as I said, we've gotten, like, a lot of stressful comments the past, like, 2 weeks. And so I was like, any rest you can get, you should take it. So now I'm streaming by myself today. And I am having a good time. And I hit the wrong button. Oh, and they're making me breakfast. That was my breakfast. That was my stipulation. Is I said, I will stream by myself. That's fine. I love to be the star of the show. I love my by myself streams. I do feel like maybe, hopefully, when we're, like, less busy, I'm going to bring back Monday streams, but I think they're just going to be, like, reading streams. Arrow, listen, I really love Security Breach. Maybe we'll play Security Breach tomorrow. It's so fun. Does it have a lot of flaws? Yes. I wish that they would work harder on porting their games over to Switch with less bugs. But it's still good. I don't have the DLC yet. I have never seen a show in Disneyland, so when we went to Disneyland, which is the one in California, Disney World is in Florida, that's where we used to work. When we went to Disneyland for our honeymoon, which we were only there 2 days, none of the nighttime spectaculars were happening still, because even though at the time there was at least the first vaccine for COVID, possibly also the second. Definitely the second. We got our seconds like 3 weeks before our wedding. So we had like just gotten them. We were still wearing masks everywhere, which we are now. Hello, my love. And anyway, they weren't doing nighttime spectaculars at the time. And I was like, that's fine, we'll come back. And now Fantasmic, love of my life in Disney World, is still closed in Disneyland because Maleficent caught on fire. Okay. Sorry. Not my problem. I want to see her. Ian, love of my life. How are you? M, what a spectacular day. She should have an understudy. You get to say that you were there in spirit. Similarly, I have 2 stories like that working at Disney World, and one is, if you're like at all on like Disney Twitter or anything, you definitely saw this. But there was a day in early 2020. Thank you. Where a Jungle Cruise boat sank, and I was there working that day. I was there. And okay, well now I have to pause for my breakfast. I'm sorry everyone. I know we're just starting. That's one of my claims to fame. The other, this was less popular. So if you didn't work at Disney World, you probably didn't hear about it. But there was... They are on a rail, Ian. How did it sink? What a great question. I actually have no idea. I don't know how it sank. I do know that it happened. The other one that you may or may not have heard about is there was a day in Hollywood Studios, MGM Studios to the OGs. I probably shouldn't say OGs. I have no idea. To the originals. There was a day in Hollywood Studios where, like, I forget the name that they use, but it is essentially the building that sends power to the entire theme park. Not all of Disney World, but just Hollywood Studios. Caught on fire. They don't know how. It had never happened before. It hasn't happened since, as far as I know. And every single ride and most of the shows at Disney's Hollywood Studios were down. So I worked at Rock and Roller Coaster. Every ride was down. The Muppet Show was down. The Frozen Show was down. Every single thing in the park was down. And it was like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe a little earlier. And we all had to be a certain distance from the building, which was right behind Rock and Roller Coaster. So we could not go to our break room. We had to walk all the way to the tower break room, which was, I mean, like, kind of far because you have to take an elevator. Not the elevator, but, like, you know. Also, when something like that happens, as a person working, you're not allowed to tell anyone. So people had to be like, why is every ride down right now? And I'd be like, you know, there's some, like, unprecedented, that was before the word was traumatizing, things happening with, like, the power. I was, like, had to be so vague. Imagine having to take the tower elevator just to get to your break. The rides do be breaking. Yeah. Anyway, I was working that day. I worked 15 hours that day. Got yelled at a lot. So much. I was working at Coaster, though. Goofy is loose, so the park is closed. They did. I'm glad I wasn't in guest relations yet. Because they literally had to refund so many tickets that day to people who, like, that was their last day. And then if it wasn't their last day, they just gave them a free day. To be like, either go to another park today or go to a different park tomorrow for free. No, Ian, I bet it was scary. I only went to Universal once as a young person, and the only thing I remember is the Jaws ride and meeting Scooby-Doo. It was so much. It was so much, and y'all, it was so on fire. I have no idea how anything ran the next day. They must have worked so hard. That's fair, Ian. July on a bang today. A girl got electrocuted on a ride? That's so much. A boy died on Rock and Roller Coaster of heart problems that he didn't know he had. He was, like, tall enough to ride and everything. That wasn't the issue. He was, like, 9. I wasn't there. This was, like, years before I worked there. So, like, people would be like, it's haunted, but it wasn't. Now, a lot of rides are, but Coaster wasn't.
I'm sorry, those eggs are so salty.
They're good. They are a little salty.
Yeah, they're really salty.
But they're really good. Hello. Did you know any haunted rides at Disney World?
No. Realistically, no. I feel like people said that about Spaceship Earth, but only because it's really dark in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. I would like to say that I do believe in ghosts. I don't think that most people who see ghosts where it makes the most sense for ghosts to be, such as at Disney World.
Right. You're looking for ghosts there.
Yeah. Oh, people really, really love to say who work at Carousel of Progress that there's a ghost.
Oh, there is a ghost of Carousel of Progress. I really believe that.
People died in Carousel of Progress. When
One person died, and it was in Disneyland.
That's true.
But I do think Carousel of Progress is haunted. Not by the animatronics. Animatronics don't scare me.
No.
That's why I love Five Nights at Freddy's so much. Oh my god. I'm not showing you the better Five Nights at Freddy's thing that I got.
I did see that, BB Boo Boo.
But Phoebe got me this stupid little thing. It says, "Way to go, superstar." He says, "Way to go." John Progress is a mummy. I will not change my mind.
They rebuild a ride that with the same ghosts in.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. The one thing that I will kind of hear about Disney World and ghosts is that, like, I think it's a place that has a lot of, like, vibes imbued in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because people care about it a lot. So I can understand.
No, if I was gonna haunt, Carousel of Progress, great place to be.
Yeah.
Could be worse places to haunt.
It is the Cryptid Plane shirt. Thank you. It's like my fave.
The one you wear on the plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, you always wear it on a plane.
It's perfect for that. Perfect for that. Yeah, listen, you'd have a lot to watch at Disney World, Disneyland.
Yeah. Mannequins scare me at the mall. Mm-hmm.
Okay, love you.
Yeah, I really feel like Carousel of Progress is haunted just because I've known a few people who worked there that have all, like, had stories that, like, actually happened to them. Also, as someone who worked in the same land as Tower of Terror, I do really think Tower of Terror is haunted. I'd like to say, like, haunted to me means, like, something inhuman but not necessarily malicious is there. Unrealistic body images scares me too. So true, Ian. Luckily, you have a perfect body, so you don't have to worry about it. Thank you. I love closet cleanout day. It's the best. That day, I woke up at, like, 8 a.m. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. What if the ghosts were aliens all along? Tower, there's a lot of people that I know who have had, like, weird things happen to them. And, like, again, it is, like, a very, like, creepy, focused ride, right? So, like, could they all be, like, you're seeing something because you're looking for something? I really do think that's possible. That is not a crime and not unbelievable. They're lying to me in just plastic. So true. The real ghosts are the emotions we attach to that place. The Carousel of Progress stories, none of them are malicious. It's basically like the person in, like, the tower, like the person who's, like, watching all the cameras, making sure, like, people don't climb places they're not supposed to climb, like, on stage or out of the ride or whatever. A lot of people who have been in that position, a lot of people who've been in that position that I know personally have been, like, these 2 seats in this specific theater, because there's, like, 4 theaters. If no one's sitting there, like, you will see these same, like, 2 people who look kind of like ghosts. And they don't walk in or out. They just, like, appear. And could it be a really elaborate prank of, like, people sitting somewhere else and then crawling to those seats, dressing in the same outfits? Like, it could be. It's very possible. My spirit just really likes history. Yeah. That would be a really elaborate prank, and if it was, I would commend them. It is a kind of haunted. Beep. Beep beep boop boop. Boop beep boop bop. I actually had a dream once where a really good friend of mine, who I worked with at the time, was like a ghost coordinator, and I had died. And she was like, yeah, I don't tell anyone about this job because, like, it doesn't pay that well, but it's, like, really cool, so I keep it. And she was like, okay, so you're dead. But someone's already haunting your apartment where I was living at the time. So you actually have to haunt the Winn-Dixie down the street, which is a grocery store in the South. I'm so sorry, that's where you have to haunt. And I was like, and that was kind of the whole dream. Was like, she was like a real estate agent, but for ghosts, but like that was the only thing available in my area. And I was like, I guess Winn-Dixie's a fine place to haunt. Like, there's lots of people watching. Okay. I'd haunt at a Wendy's. Yeah. Listen, I can't help it. I'm naturally smart and fun. I feel like it'd be a good premise for, like, a show. A show that only has, like, one season. One of our friends grew up in a house that was definitely haunted. Again, like, not by anything, like, malicious. But the other thing is, though, like, I don't want people telling me if they were haunted by something malicious. I'll leave weird little Easter eggs for people to find. It's very similar to, like, do y'all see the memes where it's like, if I win the lottery, I'm not telling anyone, but there will be hints. And it'll be someone being like, I bought 32 dogs or whatever. Hey, tomorrow's the flower dance. Now, beep beep, I'm sure you don't know this, but the word at the end of what you said is actually a slur that we don't use around here. You're not in trouble. Most people don't know. But Black creators are, like, asking people not to use that word. So we don't. And we tell folks who come in and use it. The hint of me winning the lottery would be giving all my friends fat checks. I think my hint of winning the lottery would probably be, like, I would be booking one of those, like, 14-day cruises. And I think everything else would probably be me, like, paying off all of our medical debt. And buying a house. Thank you, Seven. So fast. Oh, let's check the calendar because I never remember anything. Okay, tomorrow's the flower dance. Emily's birthday's on the 27th. Y'all write that down. I haven't played since last week. What are my things right now? Oh, is it just these? Oh, that's right. I was like, I have to save up and get a silo. How much money do I have? How much money do I need for a silo? Do y'all remember? Tattoos would be my hint, all of them. Buying a house and a car. That is so much. That would be really scary to just find. But, like, how do you know it wasn't a prank? You know what I mean? Stardew Valley wiki is what I want. Hello. 100G. Is it only 100? Stone, clay, and copper. No, wait, I definitely need wood. For a silo? I looked it up last time. Okay, never mind. I lied. Ian's right about everything. Okay. I need so much stone. I don't think I have any clay. I definitely need copper. Hello, my name is Morgan. My pronouns are she, her. If you'd like to share your name and your pronoun in the chat, you can. Literally. So true. I was going to say 5,000. Lore, they, them. Now, Lore, maybe not. But are you the one who brought me the cow sweater? Because I also met a person named Lore who brought me the cow sweater. And I may have asked you this before. I'm actually almost certain that I did. Okay, wait. Oh, I have plenty of copper. So I just need to make copper bars. Okay. I forget what all the controls do. I did not buy you a house, whatever frame. That sounds very cute. This person, also named Laura, came to the clothing swap and had, like, in the best way, absolute weirdo energy. And I was, like, obsessed with your weirdo energy, because literally same. I only have friggin' 5 clay. And they had bought this sweater a long time ago. But they were like, I have autism, and it's, like, a really scratchy sweater, so, like, I literally never wear it. And they're right, it is scratchy, but I don't have autism, and so I wear it, like, when it's cold outside so much, because it's an absolutely cuckoo banana sweater. It is so strange. I also have weirdo energy, but I am UK based. That's so fair. That's so fair, bestie. That is a bit far to come to the clothing swap. Okay, I'm gonna sell this broken CD. It's a Nickelback CD, so it's fine. It doesn't give me anxiety. It's definitely, like, uncomfortable to wear something scratchy. Like, I couldn't do it for, like, 12 hours. Oh my god, I can grab it. It doesn't give me anxiety. I usually just wear some other long sleeve underneath it, which is why I can only wear it when it's, like, really cold. But it's absolutely bananas. Hold on. If you haven't seen it, this is it. Also, it has a working bell on the cow. They were like, this really feels like your vibe. And I was like, yeah, you've nailed it. Love your weirdo energy. I love that you love my weirdo energy. Isn't it so cute? It is definitely like the scratchy kind of yarn. Also, we've tried, Phoebe and I both, we've both tried so hard to find the person who made it. It just says this, which I'll read it to you. It says, specially handmade by Patricia. And I've Googled that. I looked it up on Etsy. We've, like, taken a picture of the label. Nothing. Patricia made this one sweater and she retired because she said, I'll never do any better. That's the only explanation. Hello. Patricia, where are you at? I don't understand. Patricia, please. Thank you. I'm not wearing foundation in the normal sense of the word. I am wearing highlighter, which is usually what people ask. I only have, like, concealer. And it's literally, almost all of my stuff is e.l.f. I could get rich tomorrow, and I think I would still buy e.l.f. It's cheap and it works. Except for, their highlighter sucks. This is my highlighter. When I eventually run out of it, it's over. This is not e.l.f. It's called Revolution, Makeup Revolution London. And I'm obsessed with it. It's because in, like, late 2019, people were like, I think we should make highlighter, like, really obnoxious and fun. And I was like, boy howdy, yeah. And I'll never give it up. And I'll do it forever. And that's how it'll be. Oh my gosh, well now my little thing's not going to fit in here. Thank you. I live by and die by e.l.f. That's what people say. Lore, I don't know enough about makeup. If I got rich tomorrow, I'd buy all the Hourglass Cosmetics. I don't know her. But I am happy for you. Okay, hold on. I forgot that I was filming like a day in the life thing. And I forgot to film putting my makeup on stream. So I pretended to do that again just now. And then I also need to film while I'm streaming. Because that's part of it, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, like, I love my job. Unfortunately, I always forget to do this when I do a day in the life. But I actually remember this time. So everyone act really normal. Let's see. What kind of framing do we want on this? Gotta be careful because you don't want to show too much. Alright. I'm coming back. Everyone be cool, be cool, be cool. Don't worry, I'm on the way. Don't look at the camera. So true. Okay, hopefully people don't notice how dirty my desk is. And I'm just playing Stardew like normal. And this is how I normally play. This is how I always play. I'm super normal, and this is normal. Don't even worry about it. Perfect. All right, everyone did a great job. Get that off camera. My other chair that just holds my plate when I'm done with breakfast. That's his only job. Time for a snack. Everyone will be like, that was so cool and normal of her. She's literally so cool and normal. Okay, I need more clay. Where can I find some clay, please? Give me clay. Can I put this on my resume? She's rich. She has a chair for her breakfast plate. And you're right. Oh, do you think what's his ass with like cauliflower? Okay, he hated it. Why are some of them so ungrateful? I got you a present. I grew it in my garden. Yeah. Everyone was really cool and normal. Yeah. They always hate my gifts. It's because unless they're the person I'm like trying to, you know, romance, I never like Google what anyone likes. And every time I'm like, this time's gonna be different. And then it's like, I don't want to Google every time I have to give someone something. That's so much work. And I'm right. Oh. Hello, you. Okay, and I need clay, please. Jeez Louise. Hello? Ghost? Never look a gift horse in the mouth. Hey, where are you from? I have seen the Hello Kitty Island Adventure game, but I don't have freaking Apple Arcade. I mean, I have an iPad. Okay, how is my inventory full? Oklahoma, Missouri. Yes. Really? What is it supposed to mean? Never look a gift horse in the mouth? It's kind of a positive rejection exercise. You're not wrong. Okay, do I need any of these? Oh, I need wood. I need that. I also need copper bar, which I didn't realize. Okay, we gotta put the leek away. Because what's his ass love leeks. Loves leeks. He loves them. Have you ever heard, look a gift horse in the mouth?
Yeah.
What?
Somebody gifted you a horse. Don't make sure that horse has teeth or whatever.
Don't be mean to someone who's being nice to you.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
You say meanest snakes, which is weird.
Meanest Sticks is normal.
Is your phone supposed to be turned on, by the way?
Oh, no, you turn it off.
Yeah.
I filmed I'm doing a day in the life thing. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, cute.
Well, I thought you might like that.
Thanks.
Looking in their mouths implies you question the condition of the gift. Okay, and I do. Who's giving me a horse, knowing that I'm not a horse girl? That's malicious. This is just like, y'all know that scene in, what's it called? Men in Black 1, where Will Smith goes in for like the shooting training and he shoots a little girl holding the books. And he's like, yeah, she's 8 years old. Why does she have a physics book? That's suspicious. This is exactly like that. It would be suspicious of someone to give me a horse. This horse has cavities. Oh my god, when we were at the cabin, Hannah's mom is on like a neighborhood watch page for like the area that the cabin is in. And someone posted that they were having a garage sale that weekend, and we were like, oh my god, we should go to the garage sale, which we ended up not going. We didn't have time. But it was because their horse needed $3,000 worth of dental work. And I was like, what kind of horse? What is he doing? What do you mean he has $3,000 worth of dental work that he needs done? I definitely won't send you a horse. It's just, it seems suspicious to me. Okay, fuck you, guy. Leave me alone, please. You can lead the horse to Morgan, but you can't make her take it. Exactly. Hey, I forgot about the Sid sprites, if I'm being honest. I forgot they existed. Hey. Okay, I need this. Oh, that was nothing. Popeye is already a horse, you're right, and I do care about him. You can lead the horse to Morgan, but she might kick it in the mouth. Oh no, inventory full. Oh my god. Okay, let's throw away the trash. No, I am gonna kill a Sid Sprite, and I'm so sorry about that. Is there clay in this? Nope. Okay. What else can I throw away? Oh, sap. Fuck that sap. Okay, let's go. I'm always suspicious when things are expensive. I need to know why you charge that much for something. Yeah, it doesn't mean I disagree. I'm just curious. Why are you charging that much? And then sometimes I'll be like, okay, this makes sense. My cat technically needs thousands of dollars worth of dental work, but she's so old. That's fair, Luna Raccoons. I just was like, I didn't even know that horses could need this much work. Poor old lady. Do they make, like, cat dentures? What do they even do? Remember Dotson, they quoted me $1,500 for one tooth? They don't know about the string in the door trick? You tie a string, you shoved a door, no more tooth problem. Maybe it's hard to find a horse dentist. Maybe so. Maybe it is. I wouldn't know. That's the reason you shouldn't give me a horse. You should be like, right, that Morgan, she doesn't know anything about horses. Which is why I would never give her one. Okay, Gunther can tell me about everything, I guess. Perfect. Let's go to Gunther. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Please just wiggle your teeth like a normal child. You would chew on the shower curtain because your tooth was loose? And it was in the same place I have a missing tooth? Okay, that's really cute. Boo. I had dental surgery last week and I'm still not fully recovered. Yeah, I bet. It's traumatizing. Oh, hey, bitch. What's up? Oh, let me give him this flower. There you go. Okay, fuck you, dude. I don't understand. I'm already getting clean in the place where I get clean 2 for 1. It's like how some kids brush their teeth in the shower. And they're not wrong. Like, they're allowed to do that. But you couldn't pay me. No, the toothbrush stays in a completely separate area from the shower. Why would I take it all the way over to a place that gets cleaned way less often than my sink? If I'm being honest. Oh, can I get clay on the... Fuck yeah. 2 more clay. Some people love to brush their teeth in the shower. And I used to be like, that's completely unusual, but it turns out actually a lot of people do it, just not me. I can't stand the sensory of toothpaste on my dry skin. I definitely brush my teeth more than I shower. Now, to be fair, I don't think people are only brushing their teeth in the shower. I'm sure these people would just rather brush their teeth in the shower. Apparently, a lot of people do it to save time. It's still the same amount of time. Okay, so I had literally, I'm not kidding, never once thought about using warm water on my toothbrush until I married Phoebe, and I brushed my teeth after them. And you know, like, even if you know how, like, in a sink, even if you turn, like, the cold water on, you can tell that the hot water was just on at the very beginning? So that happened because they brushed their teeth first. And I was like, do you brush your teeth with warm water? And they were like, yeah, why would I use cold water? And I was like, I just sat there and I was like, I guess you're right. I'd never thought about using warm water. So like if I am brushing my teeth with Phoebe, then I usually use warm water, but if it's just me, I usually use cold water. But it doesn't matter to me. I don't necessarily have a preference. It just quite literally had never even occurred to me for it to be an option. Cold feels cleaner. It's the only time I feel like cold feels cleaner. I'll not be putting warm water in my mouth, thanks. Yeah, I don't think it hurts them with cold water. It's just that warm feels better. I feel like it makes the mint more minty. I agree. I will say Phoebe does a lot of things super differently than I do. All the time. But rarely, I guess. I shouldn't say none. Rarely am I ever like, that's gross, you're doing this a gross way. But if you had told me before someone that I love brushes their teeth with warm water, I would have been like, hot foam in your mouth? Ew. My husband snaps with his index and thumb. Index is pointer finger, right? How does he do that? Okay, buddy. How does he even do that? Something else, this isn't gross, it's just, I literally can't wrap my mind around it. Phoebe ties their shoes. If you've watched any of our cabin vlogs, I think we talk about it. It's one of them. Phoebe ties their shoes in the strangest way. And it's not wrong or bad. But I've watched them do it so many times. I've filmed them in slow motion. I literally cannot fathom how the shoe is getting tied. I don't understand how they're tying the shoe. I don't understand at which point the shoe becomes tied. Because it just happens and then they're done. And I'm like, it's definitely faster than what I'm doing, but I have no idea. They just like they adapted something for themselves. And I was like, how are you doing this? Have a flower. No, not eat daffodil. Now I want to see. They're busy. I'm sure they won't come in here. But it's so strange. It's not bunny ears. No. Hey, and I need everyone to know, there's no way, there's no name for this. They're the only person in the world, I think, who ties their shoes like this. I feel like, when I'm watching it, it feels like the finger that's doing the most work is their fourth finger. A finger which I don't think otherwise has any dexterity in any other activity I've seen them do. It doesn't make any sense. I have no idea how it's happening. I have multiple videos that I've taken of them tying their shoes and me watching it in slow motion. And I am like, I don't understand how you're doing it. It doesn't make any sense. I had a teen camp counselor refuse to tie my shoes for me when I was like 4, 5, or 6 and almost left behind. Did y'all have those parents who were like, they're not going to let you in kindergarten if you can't tie your shoes? That's so mean and so scary because they make Velcro shoes that fit you up until you're like 15. There's no reason to be mean. You can wear Velcro shoes. You could wear Velcro shoes forever if you wanted to. No, I don't think it is real. Now, I do think it's real that, like, your teacher wouldn't do it for you. But at that point, like, it just means, like, your parent needs to either teach you how to fend for yourself, similar to, like, opening the things in your lunchbox and, like, stuff like that. Like, your kid has to be able to, like, fend for themselves when it comes to things like that. But, like, they weren't not going to let you in. Okay, I'm going to sell the gold one because I'm sure it's worth more money. It was traumatic. Yeah. I'll bet. It's not real. If your parents told you they wouldn't let you in kindergarten, they're lying. Unless you went to private school, in which case maybe they did. To this day, I pretty much just tie my shoes one time and then slip them on. It depends on the shoe. Yeah. Okay, why won't it let me? Oh, I forgot I was picking something. I don't know which one I picked, so. And she gave me the ugliest look I ever sent to the teen. That's so sad. Now, I do think it's real that they wouldn't let you in kindergarten if you weren't potty trained. But I have no, like, proof of that. That just seems to make the most sense because your teacher can't leave to take you to the bathroom. My shoes have never been easier to wear. I never went to kindergarten. Where do you live, generally? It's more so that we're not legally supposed to wipe asses. That also makes sense. What day is it? The 24th? I'll water these just in case, but I don't think anything else is going to grow until spring's over. Pennsylvania. We had a restroom in our kindergarten classroom. We did too, but the teacher couldn't go in there with you. I remember having a test that included tying my shoes to go to kindergarten. This is my first spring, yeah. Not ever, just in this round. Now, I didn't know until I met Phoebe May that some places did not require you to go to kindergarten. I didn't know kindergarten is optional in actually a lot of places. But where I'm from, I had never met a single person who didn't go to kindergarten until I worked at Disney World. I had never met a single person until I met Phoebe. Well, I mean, I think Phoebe did go, but until I talked to Phoebe and talked with them about how they grew up, I didn't know there were kids who didn't go to preschool. I didn't know. I started going to Mom's Day Out, which is like really baby pre-K, at 6 months old. And then I had, like, I was in, like, preschool. I was in, like, where I'm from, we call it, like, K2, K3, K4. Until, oh, that's so much. I feel like that would be so much. Are you okay? I went to everything. And it did cost money, but it was like through the church, so it wasn't like a private school in like that way. I didn't know it wasn't free until I met Phoebe, and then I Googled it, and I was like, everyone I know went to pre-K. My parents sent me to some lady's house every day before I went to school. Was she nice at least? Hello, welcome. Oh, I got water on my shirt. Fewer than half the states require kindergarten. Now, I do think it should be free, and then I do think they should require it, because, like someone just said, you learn so much in kindergarten. And you learn so much in first grade, but if you didn't learn the first stuff you had to know in kindergarten, you're going to be so behind. It was a Christian preschool, even though we were not Christian or religious. We were, but it was like a Methodist church, even though we were Baptist. Yeah, some people don't go to kindergarten. Her name was Martha. She lived up the street from my aunt and had a little daycare out of her house. All of my cousins went to Martha's too. I guess that's why they call it first grade. Yeah, because it's the first one you have to go to. I suppose. I had no idea. Now, I do know that here, I can't tell you where. It actually could have been in Portland or it could have been in Albany. Somewhere, since we've moved to Oregon, we saw a sign that was like, now offering free pre-K. So at least somewhere around here, there's someone that offers pre-K, but like for free. But like yeah, I had friends. I'm still friends with, not like close or anything, but I'm still internet friends with people I literally know from like K2, K3. Portland voted to approve universal pre-K for all. Free K. It's like really important for a kid's development to like have friends really young, right? It was because of the autism, not their religion. Hey, you know. Yeah, pre-K is just structured daycare. You also don't have to be, like you don't have to be certified to be a pre-K teacher, right? At least, maybe in Alabama. It could be different places. Because where I'm from, I know a lot of people who didn't, not that there's anything wrong with not going to college, but it is relevant to what I'm about to say. Like, they didn't go to college or anything. Like, they don't have a school. They don't have a school. They don't have a degree. And they teach pre-K. I think in a perfect world, you're getting enrichment from the adult taking care of you, so even if you've never sat in a classroom or gone to school, you had social skills, basic life skills, or really interacted with learning materials by the time you're in first grade. They're assuming you've interacted with stuff before. Yeah, no. I'm so glad I went. Because, I was not getting that stuff in my house. But yeah, I think we would probably enroll our kid in like a pre-K or a K3. Like, at least some of the days. I know when I went, it wasn't, like, they didn't take attendance, you know what I mean? It was essentially just structured daycare. But it was, like, half a day, so you got there at, like, 7 a.m. And I think you could stay all day, but it, like, probably costs more. I don't know, but I got picked up. Me and a bunch of kids got picked up at, like, 1. How the heck do I get to the forest? I think you should get Panera. But I'm literally always team DoorDash, so... My mom didn't speak English, so she definitely wasn't the one teaching me. What does your mom primarily speak, if you don't mind me asking? I'm amazed everyone remembers her kindergarten experience. I've had an empty disease. Oh no, can I not get there this way? Oh, I see. My parents both worked full-time. Yeah, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. Which, I guess we will both be, like, stay-at-home parents. I mean, like, we will be working, but we'll be working at home. Doing this, presumably. Let's see, do I need any of this? How much money do I have? Oh my god, my inventory's full. Hold on, I have to throw something away. Elementary school and half-day preschool, and then an all-day K5. Yeah, so all-day kindergarten is what we had. I grew up with half-day kindergarten. That was what Phoebe did. And I was like, yeah, I had no idea that was a thing. What a great question. I think, first of all, I think our plan, number 1 is to get pregnant. Number 2, I think is we're gonna try and work like as much as we can while I'm pregnant. So if y'all see us taking ads we wouldn't normally take, whenever that happens, mind your business. And just be happy that we're getting paid. Which is obviously a joke, like, you know. But anyway, And then I think we're gonna try and have like an actual maternity leave of at least like a month. With like stream and like things that we have to actually do. I guess really just stream. And then probably still do like day in the life type stuff on like TikTok and Instagram. Because if you stop posting completely, you know, lose your platform. And then I have no idea. I think probably it'll be more Phoebe streams for the first bit. And then oh, never mind. And then Goose just made an ad for Big Coal. They said climate change wasn't real. And then I think we'll figure it out. I have no idea. I feel like the biggest thing is that our content will change because we'll have to be way more careful about what we show because we don't plan on showing our kids' face. I'm not gonna say never, but like extremely rarely on the internet. Possibly never. I don't even know if we're gonna share their name with the internet. Now, I'm sure we'll slip, and so like if you were to search for it, people would know it. But we're gonna try to not say it, you know, a lot. Because what I hope that does is that then if someone saw us at Target with our baby, because they had never seen that baby, they would not have a parasocial relationship with the baby. I hope that they realize, oh, they don't share this person on the internet, and I don't know them. Wait, I don't actually know Morgan and Phoebe. I will not walk up to them and try to touch their baby. Yeah, I think we keep telling people we're going to have like a Muppet name for them. So we'll say like Baby Gonzo. But I think that's going to be the biggest way it's going to change. And then the other thing is like, because we're not sharing that much about the baby, it'll be, okay, rude. It'll be a new way to like frame our content. And like we'll be talking a lot about our roles as parents, but not about like the baby themselves. Now where am I? Am I not dancing? Oh yeah, I'm over in the corner because I don't have a partner. That's so sad. Okay, here's the thing. If you don't know this about me, I have always wanted to be pregnant my whole life. I've been looking forward to it my whole life. And at least where I'm at right now, I'm actually excited for people to touch my belly. Now, not strangers, but like family members I'm not really that close with. I'll probably be like, tee-hee-hee. I'm like a little submarine. Exactly, Kaya. My mom also thinks it's normal to go up and touch other people's babies. And don't get me wrong. If a stranger walked in my house right now and said, I want you to hold my baby, I'm holding that baby. But I would never ask a stranger, can I hold your baby? I don't understand how some people don't just go, no, that would be weird. It would be weird of me to do that. And it's like, yeah, baby, we don't know each other. You don't know this baby. I barely know the baby. As the baby is brand new. That's not what I meant to do because I need this one. Thanks. I don't want to hold anyone's baby, especially a stranger. I barely know this baby. Baby's new. Yeah. I feel like other parents... Do I look like so pixelated to you guys? Or am I just seeing something that isn't there? I feel like other parents can tell that I have a good motherly vibe about me. Because especially, obviously when I was a teenager, if one of my cousins had a baby, I was like, can I hold her? Can I hold her? About like any of them. But now I know that that's annoying, right? And so now at family events, I will say nothing. And I will talk to the mom and I'll be like, how have you been? Are you sleeping? Like, are you drinking enough water? Like, you know, do you want me to get your food while you sit here and hold the baby? And like, you know, and try to like treat her like a person instead of just a thing that holds a baby that I want to hold. And the benefits of that are that hopefully the parent that I'm related to by marriage or whatever feels supported. And if they never let me hold their baby, that's well within their rights and that's fine. But typically, they're like, actually, do you want to hold them? And I'll go get food, and I'll be like, are you sure? Because I really don't mind getting your food. Like, and it's true. I really don't mind. I hope people do that for me. But, like, I don't know. It's just, like, when I see adults to strangers be like, can I hold your baby? Can I hold your baby? Da, 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 da. And I'd be like, what? Also, most of the time they had a baby themselves, so they know how annoying it is. I was the babysitting queen. I always say that, like, my first job was at this, like, salon as, like, a party princess, but I had been babysitting since I was, like, 11. Like, it's the benefit of the parentification of your eldest daughter is that she's actually a killer babysitter. No, literally. Sunflower, it's why for so long I was like, I want twins. Because imagine one in each hand. As a former boy, no one asked me to babysit, and it was so sad for me because I would have been so good. I knew a couple of boy babysitters, very few. I watched the babies at church starting way too early. I was a big watch the babies at church person. And they don't pay you for that, by the way. And they should. Because I tell you where you do change diapers, in the church nursery. A lot. If something happens with your partner, you always have one in each hand. That's funny. Eldest daughter turned eldest son can confirm. Now, something I would like to say is I do feel like eldest daughter is like a job that is put on you, and it defies gender, and it actually defies what place you were actually born. Because Phoebe's Graham, the one that helped with the mural, she's the youngest, I think, and she's not the only daughter, but she's the eldest daughter. She's the one that did all the parenting of the other kids, even though she was the youngest. She's the one that took care of everything when the parents died. She's the one who, like, at Christmas is like, does anyone need anything? Are you guys good? And we're like, yes, please make your own plate. Please sit down. We were both in the Scouts. Oh, in the Scouts. Because they would always ask. Oh, they would always ask my brother. I thought you were saying they would always ask about your brother. And I was like, what do you mean? Former eldest daughter can confirm. Yeah. So therefore, I'm eldest daughter. Listen. And sometimes your son is your eldest daughter. And it's just true. The real two genders are eldest daughter, youngest son. Sorry. Actually, no, there are 3. And the other one is middle kid who needs attention. / positive / negative. So true, and you're right. It's simply, I'm correct. Youngest daughter took the role of eldest daughter here. Haha, I'm so glad we're all traumatized together. And here we go. Another day that I don't have enough clay. Oh, wait, maybe I do now. Let's go look. Let's look at the clay that I have. Okay, here's my clay. Hey, here's my bar. How much stone do I need? Oh, I'm sure I have enough. Oh, I gotta put my rare crow out. Let's go. Probably further, yeah. Here. That seems good. Babies and kids have been special interest since I was tiny. Now, I've never considered that babies could be a special interest. And parenting could be a special interest. Maybe I do have autism. I was the kid who didn't need attention. Let's talk about this. Because how many times in your life did your parents say things like, it's crazy. It's like Morgan's raising herself. Honestly, I barely have to do anything with her. I never have to discipline her. I never have to make sure that she's doing her homework. I actually have 5 dishes to fold. This is, I would say, maybe the first time that I've really been like... My parents constantly talked about how independent I was, and I was like, I'm 5. It's all of us, and we're here. She's so grown up for her age. You're so mature. Too old for their age. And, like, don't get me wrong. I don't think we should get rid of, like, old soul. But what I think old soul should mean is, like, my middle brother is an old soul because he puts himself to bed at 7 p.m. He always has. Since he was literally, like, 3, he never fought bedtime. He was like, no, and I'm tired and I'm going to sleep. And he also loves, like, TV land. He loves to watch, like, Cheers and, like, the kind of shows your grandparents watch. And he's also the kind of person who, like, he doesn't read much, but if he's gonna read a book, it's, like, a historical fiction about World War II, and there's no romance. And I was like, he's an old soul. He likes old people things, and that's fine. It could also maybe be autism. Could just be because of the trauma. But I feel like that's what old soul should mean. Unfortunately, people take it, at least where I'm from, and use it like she's so mature for her age. And it's like, that is actually because no one else is raising me. And I'm doing it all myself. That's why I'm so bad at financial responsibility. Because I'm actually a 7-year-old. Yes, I was always at the adults table as a kid, and they'd be like, oh, she's so grown up. And I would be like, I actually just can't really relate to the 8-year-olds who are super concerned about, like, their favorite TV show because I'm concerned about what I'm gonna make for dinner for my little siblings. So, I'm actually just very alone, not mature, thanks though. That's so white of you to say. And you're not wrong. And you're speaking the truth. I would say now I really relate to people my own age, but I need you to know that my age is now 30. I turned 29 on Saturday, but like 30 is like my age. And so I really struggle with relating to like 22-year-olds. And it's not a crime. But I remember when I was 22, people were like, one day you're not going to be 22 and you'll be like, 22 is so young. And I was like, no, I won't. I'm always going to know that 22 is adulthood. And is it adulthood? Yes. It is young. And I'm so sorry. You will change a lot between 22 and like 26. And it's not bad. And there's nothing wrong with being 22. And like, I'm not mad at my 22-year-old self. But please remember, be kind to yourself because you are still growing. The way I feel so in community right now. I felt 30 since I was 13. I remember when the movie 13 Going on 30 came out. And I was like, it was like one of the first PG-13 movies I was allowed to see because I had just turned 13. Or was just about to turn 13. And I was like, this is me. Like, I've always been like, I can't wait to be like 25 and 30. And it's because I was already doing a lot of the things that 25-year-old and 30-year-olds are doing emotionally. But I didn't have the responsibility, like the financial responsibility and the freedom of a 25 and a 30-year-old. I don't feel like an adult at nearly 30 either. Oh, no, that's true. I don't think you ever feel like grown up, you know? I don't think you ever get to a point in your life where like, and now I'm a grown up all the time. Now, I have days where I feel like that for sure. I love to come to chat and find out we all had the same parents. I think it's because the people who had nice parents are doing other things. It's also like, I gotta be honest, nobody's perfect, right? So Phoebe had incredible parents, amazing parents, horrible taste in partners. Till me, I hope. She's stressed about turning 30 because she feels like she's lying. So, like, Phoebe's parents are amazing. No idea why they dated the worst people. I had nice parents, but abandonment issues from other people. Yeehaw! So true. Which is not a crime. And it's very normal, but it is so funny. You gotta have one or the other, you know? And it's okay. It's good to know what you're about, you know? And what we're about is having trauma. Do you guys know any neurotypical people, or... Because I think they might just, like, be a myth. I had nice parents, but that childhood trauma hit in a different way. It's also, like, being a person is, like, inherently traumatic in one way or another. Like, you're not gonna meet any person who's like, I've never had any problem. You know? Even if, like, the worst thing that has happened to them is just that, like... I don't know. I can't think of an example because, like, it is still... If it's traumatic to one person, it doesn't mean that it would be traumatic to someone else. Few enough that they might be a myth. It's extremely possible. Like, I really don't think we should be calling them neurotypical anymore. Okay, and we'll put this here instead of soggy newspaper, which I will now throw away. I definitely knew people who claimed to be neurotypical, but I never believed it. I'm now realizing... Let's throw this away. And I guess I should also throw away the dandelion. Because I need room for my geodes that I can then take to what's-his-ass. And then I'm gonna go buy a silo. Sometimes I do worry that I'm just easily traumatized. I don't think you are, baby. I think you're regular traumatized. If I had to guess. Nero, why do you have weird rules? Something that I don't identify with, which is why I don't feel like I have autism, and I've said this before, but the first time that Phoebe started being like, maybe I have autism about themselves, is that they said that they used to feel like everybody had like a secret rule book that they didn't have about like how to be a person. And that they just like didn't have that rule book. And I was like, I've never felt that way. They were like, sometimes I feel like people are gonna know that I'm an alien. And I was like, I don't think that's true. That truly fucked me up. Yeah, I also feel that way. I'm so sorry. That's rough, buddy. And they were like, you know, like, other people, like, I feel like one day they're gonna, like, find out that, like, I'm not really, like them. And I was like, I have no idea what you mean. And I'm so sorry. Now, I definitely felt like not like other girls, but this definitely isn't that. You know what I mean? My peers knew these mysteries I couldn't figure out. Oh boy, I do actually feel like a little alien. Okay, construct farm buildings. No, I want silo. Give me silo, please. Build. All autistic kids relating to robots in media. Stop. You're right, and you should say it. Where should I put a silo? I guess here's as good a place as any. Def ADHD, a bunch of other letters. I definitely feel like I probably have OCD, and I definitely have CPTSD. And so those things I think can manifest themselves in strange ways. And the OCD could literally just only be the CPTSD. But I have talked like extensively with my therapist about like other things. Because my sister, who is autistic, is always like, I think you have autism. And I'm always like, I don't feel like I do. And if I do, that's fine. Maybe I'll find that out one day. But like, right now at least, it's not relevant to my experience. Because I don't feel like I do. And, you know, because of that, I like talked to my therapist about it and was like, you know, these are things that someone I care about is saying to me. And she was like, we can talk about it more if you want, but I don't think you do either. And I was like, thank you, because not thank you because it's like bad to be autistic by any means, but I was like, this is validating, because I was like, I don't think I do. I don't feel like I do, based on how people I know who are autistic describe it. I have 2 half siblings from my dad's first marriage, and then I have 2 like full siblings. But I am closest with my youngest brother, who's 23, my middle brother, who is 27, and my closest in age to me half-sister, who is, I won't say, because not sharing her business. Thank you. Yeah. They heard me say I figured out I needed a trash can and a litter robot in my room to keep it somewhat clean. And she said, okay, so you're nailing it. See you later. Listen. I think the other thing is, like, a lot of the adult, like, autistic people that I know basically feel like they found out their kid has autism and then they got diagnosed themselves. And as someone who lives with at least 2 autistic people, I don't see that happening to me. But, you know, whatever. Who knows? I have no idea. One day I might feel differently. So tomorrow I could wake up and see some people talking about things I didn't realize I experienced. Oh, the other biggest one, as we talked about on stream, and I think just about everyone was here for, was when Casey Davis a few weeks ago was talking about habits, and how habits are like completely different than what she thought they were, and how like neurotypical, or not even necessarily neurotypical, but like other people who aren't her, create habits that are actual habits. And she was like, I have to think about every step of everything that I do. And I was like, what? I do not do that. And then Phoebe was like, what? Yeah, you don't do that? And I was like, no. I already forgot everything that's in my pockets. And I was like, no, no. I don't think about how I'm doing. I'm not thinking about playing this game right now. Like, I am thinking about, like, what I want to do next. And, like, you know, I remembered to build a silo and, like, things like that. But, like, what it's like how I move the joystick and she walks right. I'm not thinking about hitting joystick walk right. It's just happening. I'm looking at it and it's happening. My fingers are doing it, but I'm not thinking about it. And I was like, no wonder you're so tired all the time, baby. That sounds horrible. Well, because it's literally like, and this is what Casey said in her TikToks about it, but she was like, this is a disability. And it is. And people aren't talking about it enough. Or at least people I'm not seeing. People I'm seeing are not talking about it enough. Because I was like, that is something. It was like probably 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what we were doing, to be honest. Okay, where am I at with my relationships with everyone? Okay, I'm again accidentally closest with Shane. Don't know how. Emily, I'm not close with. Become my friend, Emily. The things I do as habits are just chances to think about other things. So the other thing is, like, I really like cleaning our apartment. I've always been like, it's definitely my eldest daughter disease, but like I have a really good work ethic. I know that's like kind of a capitalistic way to say it, but it's like, it's true. I'm a really good employee. I feel really good when I complete a task that I was either putting off or just didn't want to do, but then I finish it and I'm like really proud of myself. And I feel like other people think that that's a lie. Not like that I'm saying it, but that other people experience it. Similar to how like I think that people who are like, oh, I love running, like the endorphins, for years I was like, they're just lying. They're lying to themselves, they're lying to other people. It's not true. And then the older I get, I'm like, they must be telling the truth, because why would they lie? At least most of them. But I just don't experience that. Turns out people are a lot different from one another. Because that is what I experience after cleaning the house. Like, I had my party on Saturday, and I was genuinely so excited to clean the kitchen yesterday. And it's because when, like, things get messy because of, like, a party or something exciting, like, as I'm cleaning it, I'm like, we had such a good time. Like, you know, oh, so-and-so left their cup. Like, I'll have to wash it and take it to them. Like, oh my God, like, I forgot that these beans that we ate were so good. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Oh, it was the Disneyland to-do list stream. I think you're right, yeah. And then I'm like, so, I don't know, that's why I'm so excited to do it. But it turns out that the other thing is that it takes very little energy for me to clean compared to other people, apparently. And it's just a lie that some people are lazy, which I think we all knew that laziness is like a myth. I do think that like eventually we'll find a different word than lazy for like, I'm having a relaxing day. Where like I probably like should be doing laundry today, but instead I'm playing Stardew all day. And like, so I still like, not like on stream or anything, but like at our house, I'll be like, I think I want to have a little lazy day today. But it's not negative. It's just like, I think we'll eventually find like a different, I just feel like relaxing doesn't roll off the tongue the same way. But it's so hard to unlearn, so that's so fair. Today drained me when I have to clean one thing. But it's that I'm not thinking about every step of cleaning. Which is why literally big nails. That's what I want to do. I want it to be a positive. It's like I took the time to actually rest mentally and physically today, is what it should mean. And I'm proud of myself. But anyway, so like I've never been like angry at Phoebe for not being a cleaner. It is, if you've ever lived with a significant other, difficult seems like too hard of a word, but like it's new to live with someone you've never lived with before, especially if you're sharing a room or like a lot of space with that person. If one of you is like picking up after themselves a lot and one of you isn't. And I never thought of it as like Phoebe being lazy. I thought it was like careless is probably a closer word. That they didn't care if the cabinets were closed and the kitchen was clean like it was this morning when we woke up. And it is a little bit that they don't care, not because they don't care / annoyed and like rude, but because like it's not something that they pay attention to because it's not at the top of their like vision, if that makes sense. And so we had like a few, like, not fights really ever, but like talks about it. And then as we've talked about this habits thing, it's even like less malicious is too many of a word, but like it is so far from like something they're like capable of doing. Not saying like they're not capable of cleaning up after themselves, but saying like it's not something that that will ever come second nature to them. It's like I'm asking them to learn how to fly. And I'm like, I can fly. You know what I mean? But, and that is more people should talk about that with their significant others, because that's huge. Because I already don't mind doing most of the, like, housewife labor, because I enjoy it, for the most part. But, like, now it makes even more sense that I'm the one who does those kinds of chores, while Phoebe is the one who does, like, editing and, like, money and, like, other things that I don't do. Because those things take a lot less energy for them to do. And they still take energy, but than it would for me to do them. Learning the way your partner thinks helps each other person leverage their strengths. Exactly. It's all about balance. It's all about, like, communicating and being, like, genuinely, like, I don't care if I'm the one who vacuums every single time we ever vacuum. That is fine. Something that, like, we both hate doing is dishes. And so we try to trade off who does them. Because we both don't like it. Something that Phoebe always does is takes down the trash. Because I don't like to do it. I would say the biggest reason is I'm a girl. And a woman. And I'm not a boy. The second one is because it's stinky and it's heavy. And I don't want to go all the way down there. The trash is so far from me. How can you expect me to do that? And Phoebe doesn't mind doing it. Now, they would mind if I was like, can you take the trash right now? Which I never do. I'm always like, when you leave or when you get a second, can you take the trash down? So many things I think are just dull behaviors are not even in a scope of thoughts. No, exactly. And to be fair, everyone has those, like, blind spots in there. Like, I don't think anything about the best way to store the veggies, because I'm not the one who cooks and I'm not the one who likes vegetables. Trash is no task for a lady. I stand by this as a lady, non-gendered. I felt bad for getting so mad. I understand so much better now. Yeah. Like I said, Phoebe and I haven't gotten a lot of fights about it, but as I've talked to Phoebe's mom, who obviously raised Phoebe, about it more, she's like, I feel so bad for getting so mad because as a parent, it felt like my kids just didn't want to listen to me. And I was like, no, that's fair. Also, I don't think anyone's holding any grudges, but like that, it makes sense. That's how it would feel. That's how it felt as a wife, because I was like, why don't you care enough about the things I care about to remember to close the cabinets? And not in like we were never yelling about things like that, but I was always like hurt by it. And then now it's not like that. And so I am not feeling hurt, and they are still trying their best, but not feeling guilt when they don't do it, because they're like, I can always do it later. And now I feel less like naggy when I'm like, hey, did you remember this thing I asked you to do? Because like they did forget. So that's why I have to remind them. Not because I'm nagging, but because we remember different things. Yeah. I live alone, so I do all the chores alone. My cats are freeloaders? That's so rude. You should have a talk with them. But, yeah. Lesbians should have a man that takes out their trash for them so they don't have to. You're right. They literally should. They should assign you a man if you don't live with a man to take out your trash. A little trash man. It's your duty. I haven't done the caves yet. I think it's the beginning of summer. Oh my gosh. Okay, what else was I doing besides building the silo? I got that going. I did have a talk with my cats, but they reminded me they're just a sweet little baby. That's a good point. All right, I think I'll go to the mines. It's 3:40 in the afternoon. I won't get a lot done, but I'll get something done. I always ask my dog to do chores and she never does it, and it hurts me. You're gonna have a talk with her. I think similarly to chores, something that you have to talk with your partner about, especially once you start living together, is something that I think a lot of like young 20-something-year-olds need to know. Is it is not your job as someone's partner, and it is not your partner's job to like constantly be regulating your emotions, reminding you to eat, reminding you to take your medicine, things like that. It is their job to, when you're really fucking going through it, do those things. But like, I know too many people who have been with someone for years of them like also fighting their partner's depression with them in a way that like is really detrimental to their own mental health. And I'm like, it is your job to help that person like get through really hard times, but like you are an adult and they are an adult, and they have to see a therapist. They have to help themselves at a certain point. You will not survive if you're doing the emotional labor of keeping yourself alive and your partner alive all of the time for years. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them. And I think that's something, especially when you are raised as like a woman, for lack of a better word, but it is relevant to this conversation, is that like you're really taught that you are supposed to cater to everyone's feelings. And I think you have to think about other people's feelings. And again, I think you're supposed to like help, but like it is like someone is taking advantage of you if you are having to remind them to do everything in their life. Now, if you're like, you know, kind of forgetful about meds, and so you need an alarm, and then also you ask your partner like, hey, when we see each other after we wake up, can you make sure you ask me, did you take your medicine last night? That is like, I feel like normal and kind of a habit that's like low energy. If your partner is like, or if you as the partner are like, it is taking so much mental energy on my part to not only remember to do all of my own care tasks, but also doing all of my partners for them, that's not a partnership. Taught to be caregivers instead of people pleasers, and people pleasers instead of partners, yeah. My ex told me I was responsible for him getting up on time to get to work. I get it sometimes when you're struggling or had a rough week and you need more of an alarm, but this was daily in a 10-year relationship. Yes. So true, that's a binary yarn. I've been there, and it's just not your job. It's not your full-time job. And like, I would say anything longer than like, anything longer than what, when you start to feel resentment and frustrated, that's your breaking point. So if that's only a week, that's also fair. But I know for me, if it was longer than like, maybe like 4 to 6 months of like, I feel like I'm pulling all the weight right now, all the time, then like, yeah, people need to be invested in their own recovery. They really do. And that you're not a bad person for being like, I'm tired. You know? Especially like the people that I know who have put up with it from their husbands also have kids. And a kid, that is a relationship where you have to do everything. Shark Dad, it's so interesting that you're here, bud. But like, your relationship with your child is obviously a relationship in which you do everything for them. That's the whole point. That's what you sign up for. And some people, that's not something they're able to do, and that's why they don't have children, and that's also super fair. Hopefully your partner is open to hearing your frustrations. Also, daily he woke up at like noon and would be mad I'd wake him up too early. So much labor for me because waking up included making coffee. Yes. He's an ex for many reasons. Everyone flirt with Ian. It's very important. But yeah. My friends and I have a shorthand. I need more help than usual now. Can you hold my hand when I do? Yeah. No, and exactly. And like, I feel like in our relationship, which is all I can speak for, like something that Phoebe does for me and probably will do with me forever is if they can go to a doctor's appointment with me, if they are like mentally capable and physically capable, they will. And that will probably happen forever because of the specific trauma that I have when it comes to doctor's offices because of the physical trauma that I had as a kid with my mom. That will probably always happen. However, if at any point in our relationship they were like, I can't do this anymore, I don't want to go to the doctor with you, like, I need you to take care of yourself, that would also be fair. Because, like, it is a lot to go with someone to do those things. And it's not for everyone. Like, no one's gonna be capable of doing that forever. That would be unrealistic. Unless they want to. And, like, they wouldn't be a bad person if they said that. Now, I don't think that'll happen, but I have to wake up to the 21-year-old who lives with me because she claims she can't do it herself. And, like, I think we've all been there, again, in our lives, you know? Okay, I'm trying to leave you, bro. At bits, at times and places. Like, I've definitely been there. But it is not your job to do it full time. It's not really your job to do it at all, but, like, obviously it's something you kind of agree to when you're in a long-term relationship, whether it be, like, dating or any other relationship with a person. Yeah. It's just a lot. But, you know, is there like a nice way to say to your girlfriends, like, it seems like your husband doesn't help you with anything ever, and it seems like he comes home from his job that isn't that physically demanding, and then he needs to relax and he needs to play his video games, and then he's like, when's dinner? And he doesn't think of you as working even though you're raising his children. Is there like a nice way to be like, it seems like you're not getting a fair shake in this deal, girly pop? If housework is so hard, why don't you do it? Yeah, or if it's so easy, why don't you do it? Do these people exist, or it's just a meme? What do you mean? People who don't help their wives? I can name a few right now. They do not like this. Oh my god. The people who do nothing and then need to play Rust and whatnot. Oh, I know several people like this. Well, I don't know them. I know their wives and girlfriends. And they'll be like, yeah, well, like, I'm trying to think of like a normal white boy name because I don't want to like, they'll be like, Andrew, you know, like he works at a tech company and like, you know, the strain on his eyes is really stressful. So like, I get it. Like he needs to unwind when he gets home, like, you know, and like he always runs into traffic on the way home. So like that is stressful and I like totally get it. But like, you know, it's like I have literally had a baby on my hip that like cried all day and I haven't showered in 3 days, and it's like, can you just watch the kid for 20 minutes while I take a shower? And he's like, you know, it's so hard to watch the kid while I'm focusing on my game. Like, you know, I told my friends I'd be online at 3, and it's like, right, and I get that, but, you know, but like I love him, and like he really is a good dad. And I'll be like, is he a good dad? Because it sounds like you do all of the dishes and all of the feeding the baby and all of the bathing the baby. And he sometimes reads a book at night and puts the baby in the bed. But when the baby starts crying, you have to get up and go get it. It doesn't sound like he's a good dad. I just made $12 an hour all day? Yes. How do you and your husband... Oh my god, you're so right. It's a red flag to ask your partner to babysit their kids. Yeah. Yeah, and I think if like you and your partner have like a groove of things where one of you is a stay-at-home parent and the other one goes to work, it is super normal and like and healthy to be like, hey, just as a heads up, on Friday night I'm going to like a birthday dinner with my friends, you know, so like you'll be alone with the kids. And like not so much that you need to warn them, but like, I don't know, the same as like they should do to you if they're going somewhere, like you know, we're not having dinner together that night, by the way, but like it's not babysitting. It's definitely not babysitting. And if your husband treats it like babysitting, maybe that's something you should consider. But to be like, hey, can you watch them? I'm going out. And especially if they say, no, I don't want to watch them. Yes. Or they'll be like, okay, well, I was at work making, you know, any amount of money, honestly. I'm not making fun of these boyfriends for like having jobs at, you know, Target. Like that's still a job, like whatever. And like all jobs are tiring and like we all hate capitalism, right? But then like he'll be like, well, I was at my job all day and now I have to go to the gym for 2 hours. And then like, can dinner be ready when I get home? And I'll be like, no. It can't be. It won't be. Stop feeding him. See what happens. I think kind, attentive, supportive, equal partners, just call that parenting. Yeah. So true. And my parent system was that when my dad came home, he took me upstairs to the room and got me changed for work and hung out with me while my mom got some alone time. Yeah. They forget mother and homemaker are jobs too. They really do. Even, I know people like this and they don't have kids. And they'll be like, oh, well, you know, like Connor's just like really been going through it mentally and like, he just like doesn't want to see a therapist because like one time he saw a therapist and the therapist like didn't agree with everything he said and told him he needed to work on himself. So like he's really worried about that happening again. And I was like, right, that's what a therapist does. Who wants to see a therapist that just like agrees with you all the time? That's not the point. You go there to be better and you only get better by being different than you're being right now. So like, it's uncomfortable. That's the whole thing. Yes, or when it bothers me more than it bothers them when there's dishes. Oh, I've, like, yeah. You guys all know someone with a boyfriend who's like, babe, can you make sure to clean up? The boys are coming over later. And it's like, you could clean up, Connor. Ever chores that auto reset after a certain amount of time, clean toilet 2 weeks later, same task comes up. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, I know people who've, like, made lists of, like, these are all the things I have to think about and do every day. And they'll be like, this is a lot. Sorry to any Connors out there. I actually only know one Connor, and I don't actually know him. He's married to this, like, online friend of mine, and he actually seems really nice. So I'm sorry to him, but... And I think it's like, it's super fair and normal to be like, hey, I clean the kitchen, can you clean the bathroom later? Like, that's normal. Therapists shouldn't be allowed to move out of state. You're so right. They're like, I've been working all day, I don't want to watch the kids, but they don't consider taking care of the kids' work. Yes. Yes. He's cleaner than I am. Our best roommate we ever lived with, while we were in Florida, was named Chad. And it's actually really funny because obviously you think of Chad as like a dude bro name. But he's like the softest, sweetest boy in the land. He's so nice. And we're like, well, his name's Chad. Yes. It's because some men start a relationship, and not always. Like, I do know people with like girlfriends who don't help out. It's not just a problem with boyfriends. Just like in my case, I know a lot of boyfriends. But anyway, who just show up and expect the other person to do everything. Listen, I'm happy for you, Sunflower. I specifically asked if she was planning on moving or changing jobs anytime soon. Now that is smart. A little mental health week off. I love that for you. A little rest. A little relaxation. Incredible. Amazing. Only working 3 days this week. Love. Our friends Hannah and Jacob, who are going to Disneyland with us, are only working 2 days this week because it was there's today and then tomorrow. Love that for you, John. Congratulations. Submitted a grant application. That's huge. That's a huge win. So a little paint by numbers and letting myself be bad at it. And I'm happy for you. And you're doing a good job, I can tell. I don't even remember what I wanted to do with the rest of my day. Oh, I ran out of energy. That's what I was doing. I don't really have enough to plan anything. A fun little drink with lunch. Amazing. My little one is that we leave for our vacation in a few days. Very few days. I'm very excited. A new Switch controller. I'm so glad. I read it as Stitch controller. So I was confused, but I got there. That's so cute. I've never gotten the blue chicken. I never get that far. Phoebe's played this game really far. I never get further than only having like 2 chickens and 2 cows. Mango simple syrup. That's really fun. Everybody's so creative. Oh, I meant it as a compliment, not in the sarcastic way. Loving all these little ones. Eating them up. I love to see them win. The them is my children online. Is it Emily's birthday? Where's Emily? No, I've never had goats or pigs. I never make it that far. It's because once I get to the bottom of the mines, I'm bad at the game. And mommy, papa. I'm always like, I don't know what to do after that point. Right, I'm trying to be better friends with Emily. Where is she? Have you considered let me talk to her? She'll be at the Stardew in a little bit. Phoebe and I have had like one what do they call it? Like joint? No, I don't know how Squid Ink. So here's what happened. The furthest I've ever gotten is that I she'll like frozen tear, right? The furthest I've ever gotten is that I made it to Ginger Island, and they were like, try to do the mines on Ginger Island. No. It's actually impossible and you can't do it. So, it's not possible. Is there a meeting I missed? What? Do they mean like real men? Like a man's man? Kind of thing? What do they mean? Were they confused? I love Stardew. I got to Ginger Island. At least I think. That's the one with the cactuses, right? And I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do after that. I got there, they were like, go to the mines on this island. And I was like, they're really scary. Oh. I haven't made it to Ginger Island. I made it to the desert. No, yeah. I didn't get on a boat. I got on the bus. I've never made it to Ginger Island, apparently. I made it to the desert. And I couldn't figure out how to finish anything. So I said, I guess I'll start over. That's it. That's all they wrote. An island full of redheads, you would need a lot of shade. I couldn't get through it. I was like, okay, and now? What do I do? That's actually the end of the game. No, I deleted them. Sorry, I wasn't playing them because they were too scary. I was like, it's too scary to go to the desert. I can't get through the mines. I don't know. I talked to this woman in a tube top, and she doesn't really tell me anything. So I guess I'm done playing this. And then I put it down for like a year, and now I'm back, and I started over. And I named it Clown Town. The flying serpents can't hurt me if I delete this. Phoebe made it for me. It's just home coffee. If you've been following my home coffee saga for like months, I was having like tummy troubles when I was drinking home coffee, but I wasn't having tummy troubles when we got coffee out. And I love home coffee. It saves me a lot of money to make my coffee at home. And I'm prissy in a lot of ways, but I don't need out coffee if I can have home coffee. Probably only like 20 more minutes. Not very long, because we have to finish our Disneyland stuff. And I'm also going to Barnes & Noble. Don't know if you heard. My favorite place. Anyway, and then we couldn't figure out what it was. No, I did not see that. I couldn't figure out what it was because what I'm putting in my home coffee is less than what they put in the coffee I buy out, but it's the same ingredients. Like, it's I'm missing ingredients to make the fun coffee, but like the ones that I did have are also all in the fun coffee. So I was like, okay, it can't be the chai, because the chai is in the drink I get at Dutch Bros. It shouldn't be the coffee acidity, because the coffee that I get at Dutch Bros is more acidic. And I was like, it shouldn't be the oat milk, because it is a different brand, but I was getting oat milk at the other one. And then I was like, it can't be the flavor, because they also put the flavor in my other coffee. And then, like, slowly, I was like, okay, I'll make a chai that's just like milk and chai. Still hurt my stomach. I was like, okay, I'll make an actual coffee with no chai and oat milk. And the flavor still hurt my stomach. Switched from oat milk to cashew. That still hurt. I couldn't figure it out. So now I haven't had home coffee in like probably like 3 months. And then last week Phoebe was like, I think we try home coffee again because we're spending too much on fun coffee. And I was like, well, that is sad, but you've got a good point. And so this is only the second one that they've made. But they made one 2 days ago and it was fine. Knock on wood. And then so far my stomach doesn't hurt. But it was literally like, if you were here, I would be like 2 hours into stream and I would be like, I have to end stream. My stomach hurts so bad. And I couldn't figure out what it was. And I still don't know. Some people were saying maybe it was like a hydrogenated oil in the creamer that I was using. And I was like, that's super possible. But like, it just seems weird because I had been using that same creamer for the last year. No, I was using filtered water. But like I get fun coffee on an empty stomach all the time. And like, it went on for like, I don't know, 2 months. The vibes were off with the coffee. I'm a doctor. Literally. And I was like, I have no idea what was going on. That was the other thing people were saying when we were talking about last time, Condolor. And something else that we thought about was like, we had bought, like the chai that we were using, we bought like the 3-pack that you can buy at Costco. So we had used more than one carton, but they were all from the same thing. So Phoebe was like, maybe it's a bad batch of chai. But like, it wasn't hurting their stomach. But like, I don't know. But it's the same brand of chai that they use at Dutch Bros that I get when I get fun coffee. your tummy knows it's not the same as fun coffee and it's angry. Literally. And I was like, sorry, I'm just assigned prissy at birth. We don't use a machine, so we make cold brew, which is just filtered water and then like the coffee in a bag that it like seeps in for 24 hours. And then just pour the other ingredients in. Goodbye, Seven. Yeah. So I have no idea what it could have been. Hopefully it's over. It could have, like, the only other thing I can think of is, like, maybe I was drinking so much home coffee because I was having it, like, every morning, you know, before stream. Like, maybe I was having it too much, and that's why, like, because when I get a fun coffee, it's like I'll have one at 9 a.m. on a Saturday before we go thrifting or to do, like, grocery shopping or whatever. And then at most, I would have another one the next day at, like, the afternoon. So, like, maybe it was, like, too often. I don't know. But, yeah. So, we'll see. Because if that's all it is, that's perfectly fine. I think that was the other thing. Is if I could figure out whatever it was, I could have fixed it. And been like, oh, okay, I really like this creamer, but I'll just stop using it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I already take fiber because I'm also taking a prenatal. And I don't know if you guys have ever made this mistake. Anyone who's ever been pregnant or tried to get pregnant. The first time I started taking my, like, expensive prenatals that have, like, methylated folate instead of folic acid. Beaver's poisoning you, sorry. I was like, I'm dying. I am certainly dying. This is death. I'm experiencing death right now. And it turns out I wasn't. It's just that I had never taken, like, such a strong prenatal that had so much methylated folate in it that I was, like, so constipated, which had never happened to me in my life. Anyway, so then I just started taking fiber and it was fine. It balanced out. But yeah. Bodies are super weird, you know? Listen, and I feel like because I hate the doctor so much, rarely am I like, do we go to the emergency room? But I was like, it turns out I've never been really constipated. I've been, like, slightly constipated before in my life, where I was, like, uncomfortable, but I was like, it'll come. But this was not that. It was awful. It's not the worst pain I'd ever been in my life, but it was so bad. But since then, I've just been like, I just take fiber with which is what other people do apparently. Yeah. Starting music's so good. I thought I was dying during my first migraine. That makes sense. Migraines are scary. I also, before I was diagnosed with anxiety in college, and I just thought everyone was feeling the way that I was, all the time. I was convinced I was just, like, constantly all the time having heart attacks. But by the time they called the paramedics, which happened a couple times, and they got there, they would, like, do the EKG. Like, it's not an EKG, but, like, you know how, like, the paramedics have their, like, baby thing where they can, like, attach this little sensors to you. And they would be like, your heart rhythm is normal. And I'd be like, there's no way. I'm having a heart attack. Your machine's broken. There's no way that my heartbeat's normal. And they'd be like, it is. I'm so sorry. You should probably see a therapist. And I'd be like, why would I do that? I'm literally normal, and this is normal behavior. So, seems weird of you to suggest otherwise. Oh my god. Yeah. It turns out I just didn't know what heartburn feels like. That was the other thing. So I didn't start really having heartburn until we moved to Oregon, for sure. It turns out I had never experienced heartburn. At least not real heartburn. And I also thought that I was, like, not dying that minute the way I had before, but, like, slowly dying. Because I was like, this isn't normal. And it also, I feel like heartburn implies that it's going to be, like, in this area, right? Here's my heart. This is where my heart is. I know because I have in my life said the Pledge of Allegiance. And I was like, it's not heartburn. I know where my heart is. You think I'm a stupid idiot. And it turns out heartburn is often not just there. Yes, it's a lot in your throat, and it can also be basically anywhere in your digestive system. Mine was like right here. Like it hurt so much. Like in like my stomach. And I was like, it can't be heartburn. It's in my stomach. It's like right above my uterus. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, no. Heartburn's in your heart area because it's in your throat. And they were like, not always. And I was like, awful. Yes. And my back hurts so much. I don't know, not so binary art. They're bad at their jobs. They hate women and the women is me. No idea. No, but I also get this thing. The other reason I was convinced that I was having heart attacks all the time in college, which I was drinking way too much. So that's relevant to like the medical things I was experiencing at the time. But all the time, my arms will go like not numb, but they'll get like tingly, but they hurt so much. And I'll like put my little arm out and Phoebe will like squeeze it up and down. And it only happens like maybe 6 times in a year. And I've mentioned it and they're like, oh, it's probably because you like slept on it weird the night before or something. And I'll be like, right, but it's not like when I wake up. It hurts. It'll be like 6 p.m. or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it'll just hurt randomly and it'll hurt for like 3 days and then it'll go away. Well, I don't hear them and it's like, okay, so you think I'm making it up? Yes, Leanna. I think probably, I don't know if this is a disease. But I'm going to tell you my symptoms and then the thing I invented. And I would like to set a boundary that if you think that it's something scary, just don't tell me. That's not part of my journey to learn right now. I'm instead just going to tell you the disease I invented. Think about that. But I have the arm tinglies. And then I also will get this thing like right around my heart. Sometimes on the other side, it's clearly like lungs, ribs, chest adjacent. But it's like I'll be walking along doing fine, not anxious. I don't think it's anxiety. And then like all of a sudden it like really hurts to breathe, but it's like pinpointed. It's like in one specific spot. And it's like if I can push on my chest and like breathe deeply but slowly like increase how deeply I'm breathing, I can usually make it go away. But if I were to try to just breathe deep from the beginning, it hurts so badly. And I can usually fix it within like 15 minutes. Also my lungs will just kind of ache. And if I just like breathe really deep a few times, I can fix it. And again, like I don't think it's anxiety because I can fix it in a few minutes. And so I was telling Phoebe yesterday when I had a heart hurty, as I like to call them, I was like, I think it's like I have like where the muscle connects to other muscle. Like, I think those are just like sensitive. I think I have too sensitive muscle to muscle because like it does feel like my arms are going to sleep when they just start hurting. But like, I don't know if you've ever had something be asleep for so long that it like really hurts. That's what it feels like. I get air hunger a lot and I call it the can't breathe. No, literally, Morgan. Like, okay. Every time I tell a doctor, they're like, do you think it's because you're fat? And I was like, maybe. And if it is, that's fine and not a crime, but like, you know? Our joints are just kind of loose. Maybe. I also do this thing, hang on. It happens less now than it used to. But, like, if I stand here and, like, think about it, it feels like my arms can, like, fall out of their socket. And so sometimes I'll have days when it feels like I can't, like, pick my shoulder up in the right way. I don't know if I have hypermobility. People have asked me that before. I don't know if there's a test. My hips also do this, so maybe. My hips will do the shoulder thing. And it's only been really bad. I had to go home from work once. And I know it wasn't actually popped out of socket, because that's, like, super painful, right? But, like, it was like my hip wouldn't... It probably is. PCOS is, like, a inflammatory disease, and, like, your joints can become inflamed. No. Precordial catch syndrome? Is this something that happens when you're a baby? If you look up the Baton scale, it's a way to test for height and mobility. Is it scary? Could I do it on stream? Hold on. Let me save my day. Okay, or not save it. I'm just gonna... It happens to adults. Okay, let's look it up. Assessing joint hypermobility. Okay. Where applicable, range of movement is measured using a goniometer. An instrument that measures the joint angle, the movements that make up. Okay. Test both sides. Rest palm of hand. Let's show it to everyone. Oh, you can't read it. I'll just describe it to you. Okay. Test palm. Fuck, okay. Rest palm of hand and forearm on a flat surface. Oh, okay. With palm side down and fingers out straight. Can the fifth finger be bent, lifted upwards, and the knuckle go back beyond 90 degrees? No. I would say at 90 degrees. Not beyond. If yes, add 1 point for each hand. Okay, hold on. No, I would say only at 90 degrees. Pull out your tonometers, chat. Is the thumb the fifth finger? No, they do have a picture. Oh, hang on. I'm showing you the wrong one. Is that why? It is. That'd be why. Okay, buddy. Stop that. There we go. Now we're cooking. Hello. Is the thumb the fifth finger is so funny and so valid. Okay, wait. Next is thumbs, though. With the arm out straight, palm facing down, and the wrist fully bent downward, can the thumb be pushed back to touch the forearm? I think no. Almost, but not quite. I bet Phoebe would think the thumb is the fifth finger. Not to be rude, but they think the back of the envelope is the front, so... The answer's no. Elbows. With arms outstretched and palms facing upwards, does the elbow extend upwards more than an extra 10 degrees? Oh, I don't know about that. Wait, what's flat? Where's flat? I can't tell. Oh no, I have all of this. I feel like, how do I know? It doesn't look like it. Thank God everyone here is a doctor. I'm saving so much money right now. I just saved myself $150. Okay, I think no. While standing with knees locked, bent backwards as far as possible. Oh, I don't think this happens to me. It's harder to tell for fat people on some of these. That was a thing that I also thought. Assigned disability by Twitch chat. Oh, you really can't tell. My legs are black. My little leggings are black. Oh, definitely not. Those are straight. Those are some straight legs. My knees was the first way I found out I was hypermobile. I'm fat and it was harder for me to tell. Spine? I can't do that. That's a no from me. I don't think I have this. Yeah, 4 out of 4. Am I winning? What was the other thing? Hold on. PCOS affects our joints. Yes, I did know that. Just to see how stretchy you are. Precordial catch syndrome. Well, now I'm scared. Do you think they'll say, do you get arm tinglies? Condition that causes sharp stabbing pain in the chest. It occurs in a small area about the size of 1 or 2 fingertips below the left nipple. I have that. Oh no. What causes it? Precordial means in front of the heart, which identifies... Oh, I'll share it with you. Which identifies where the pain occurs rather than the source or cause of it. Experts believe precordial catch syndrome occurs when nerves in the inner lining of the chest are pinched or irritated. Often it begins where you're at rest, especially if you're slouched over or have bad posture. Okay, rude. Is it, as a condition its own, it's not dangerous. Okay, well that's good. You should call 911 if you or a child feel lightheaded or nauseated, have a severe headache, experiencing shortness of breath. Yeah, it's probably ghosts in your blood if I had to guess. You win a trip to the doctor's. Enjoy. Yeah, I also get irritated if I'm pinched, so seems normal. That's what I have. Haunted blood. Who knew? Now, I do love this picture they put on here because that's literally a photo of me. My bangs, really doing something. Me? That's what it looks like. My CPAP is fine, okay? And she's fine. She's fine. I don't think I'm ever going to love her. I feel like enough time has passed that I would know if I was going to love her. And she's fine. I do think that I will live longer because I have it, and that is a good reason to keep wearing it. I do sleep better than I did when I first got it. Because I was not sleeping when I first got it. Because it was uncomfortable. I also slept without it as a little treat on my birthday. And I did wake up coughing and unable to breathe. Which doesn't happen when I have my CPAP on. Yeah, I have the over-the-mouth one, but I sleep with my mouth open even if my nose is clear. Like, my mouth falls open when I sleep. So when I said that, they were like, you should just start with the mouth one because you can always switch to a nose one later. But it's going better. I don't think I'll ever love her. I don't think I'll ever be the kind of person who puts it on for a nap. And I could be wrong. Those things might happen. But at least right now, they are not. You get to cough, gasping for breath as a little treat. Yeah. As a little treat. I like to go back to my roots of not breathing when I sleep. Sorry, it's just the way that I was raised. Maybe Kaya. They were like, you can try whichever one you want. They're like all covered. But I was like, I don't know. I have to go to the office again. And it's kind of a lot. So I'm not doing it. I'll stick with what I know. I also feel like that's a whole new thing to get used to. You know? I'm not doing that. Yeah. It is fine. It is worth it for Phoebe to be less stressed out than they were when I was sleeping. And that's enough for me. Cool. Okay. I'm going to end stream. We're going to raid 7. Obviously. Our little fave baby. Thanks for being here. I am streaming tomorrow. I don't know if Phoebe will be here or not. It depends on how they're feeling. We might play Security Breach. We might play more Stardew. How can I know? How could I possibly know? No, oh my god, I didn't think you were being, pushy. Okay. I love you guys. I'm obsessed with you. Say hi to Seven. And you are so cutesy. Thank you so much.